Hello, and welcome to Simply Healing. My name is Tristan, and we're simply healing today. So, today we're going to be talking about why it's important to let go, or why letting go is the right thing to do. And we're going to be doing a lot of letting go within this episode, or at least myself. I recently wrote a blog post over letting go, and I learned a lot. And with Simply Healing, I'm going to be leaving a lot of my findings as I go throughout my spiritual journey behind for you guys to see as well. So this is all an exploration process that we're doing together if you are listening to this episode. So letting go is very important because it's how we're able to navigate through life in a better way and embrace like the storms and challenges. Because if we don't let go, you can get stuck in one place and you won't see yourself progress. With letting go, we see that you hold a certain set of expectations on yourself. And with these expectations, if you don't get those expectations met, then that can cause frustration. And when you have frustration, nothing good is really happening. You're frustrated. You're not living good, you're not happy, your vibration's not high. And so that's why letting go is very important, so we can let go of those expectations that we have currently set on ourselves and just reality around us. We're letting go of that control and just letting go and letting God, letting go, letting universe, whatever your affiliation, whatever you see fit. And for me, I'm doing a lot of letting go within this episode because previously I would write and I would learn a lot of the stuff that I would talk about on the podcast, and like I would kind of start to script my content out. And like scripting is good. I mean, they excuse me. They script the movies and stuff like that, and so like you can get like a very solid foundation and structure of what's going on. But I feel like that also kills the authenticity of everything that's going on. My biggest goal is to just tap in and be my authentic self. I want to be able to channel everything that's coming through the universe in this present moment. My goal is to just be present as fuck. I just want to be present. And for the longest time, I've been living in my mind and kind of out of the present moment. I'm starting to tap in more each and every day to the present moment because I see that's where the power lies. And now that I'm not having this script, oh, it's crazy. Like I'm starting to feel like I'm just starting to relax a little bit more into this as I'm talking. When I had the script is pretty much like me setting expectations on myself of what to talk about. Like, I mean, I have a basis of what to talk about right here on my computer screen. It's like I'll skim over it a little bit so I don't like lose track, and I'll have like key points. But when I had that script, I was following it word by word, and when I didn't talk correctly or like follow the script to a T or just how I liked it, I would stop, reset, and then like it would cause more editing in the videos. And so there's just like a lot of resistance that's being held right there. And when I didn't exceed those expectations or meet those expectations, that's when I saw myself getting frustrated. And it I'm feeling like now, just like looking back at everything, when I start getting frustrated like that, that's also adding energy into the content that I'm making. And I just want to I just want to have my content to be like I'm pulling everything. It's like positive content. Like I just want to pull everything from positivity, love, and joy, and like cultivate that energy within the project that I'm working in, because I know other people will feel the same way about that, because people feel the way you feel about yourself. And so if I'm feeling good while doing this content, you guys are going to be feeling that. Like right now I feel a lot more playful because I don't have the structure of that script like binding me to what we're going to talk about. And so that's why I was talking about like we're doing a lot of letting go today, so I can just be free, be authentically me, and just talk to the camera script free. I thought that rhymed for a second, but I think it just rhymes free with free and free. So we're spitting bars still. Anyways, going over here. So we're talking about embracing change, and like with letting go, it's really all about just embracing change. And a lot of us do know that change is constant. Like whatever is happening, change is always happening. And so if we don't embrace change, you're going to be stuck and stagnant in one place. And on the blog post, check it out, simplyhealing.com. On the blog post, I talked about, like, imagine you being in a grocery store, okay? You're like, you got, okay, not in a grocery store, but you got your first job and you're working as a grocery store employee. That's your first job. If you don't embrace change, you're going to be stuck there for the rest of your life because you're comfortable with it. You don't embrace change. And so is that something I like truly want to ask you, and I want you to like ponder, like, if you were in that position, would you want to stay in that job the whole time? Like, was that your dream, to be a grocery sales assistant? Probably not. You might have want to be like an artist or a musician or an entertainer or an athlete, something. Well, like, what is your dreams? Put it in the comment section below. I will actually really want to see your dreams. Like, and don't filter it. Just be authentically you. It can be anything under the sun. Like a freaking unicorn polo player, bro. That would be really freaking cool. Or a professional jump ropes dude, or professional rock skipper. If you're a professional rock skipper, please leave in the comment down below. I want to get some tips from you because I love skipping rocks. Anyways, embracing change is very important because, change is always constant. And so if you don't embrace change and you stay within the constructs of just being in that grocery sales assistant, grocery sales employee, you're always going to be forever stuck there because you never embrace the change to make progress to your new goals, to where you want to go on forward in life. And that embracing change is all a form of letting go, because you're just letting go of what's going on around you. You're letting go of that control, that comfortability, because you know what's going to happen probably your next day at work. It's going to be kind of like the same thing over and over again. And when you start letting go of control of that and you just step more into the uncertainty, you start to find the beauty, and you can start working towards your desires and goals to being whoever you want to be. And now we're going to be talking about decluttering the mental closet. So letting go is very important within your mental, your in your head, in your brain, everything that's going around, the thoughts that are bouncing around in your brain. It's very important to declutter and let go of the thoughts that are holding onto your brain. So the example I used within the blog post is a nasty breakup. Imagine you went through a nasty breakup. Okay, like you thought you were with the love of your life, and then just shit went south, it hit the ceiling fan, and you're just like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I'm depressed. I'm stuck. I'm stagnant. And then you have all these like negative thoughts bouncing in your head. Just chatter in the skull, as Alan Watts would say. You have just all these thoughts just bouncing around your head, and like, what are those thoughts doing for you in the present moment? Absolutely nothing. You're just, I mean, it's making you sad. It's making you still. It's making you stagnant, but it's not progressing you forward towards your goals and where you want to be in life. And so when you start to declutter the mental, when you start to take away the thoughts and beliefs and stuff that are just not serving you anymore, you start to make room for everything that does serve you. So like you start to take your power back, essentially. You're like, okay, like, why am I staying on this subject about this relationship that has already ended? It's already gone, and I can't really do much about it. You're trying to control the situation, which that won't, like we just talked about. If you try to go control something, you're setting a set of expectations on it. When it doesn't go your way, you're going to get frustrated. When you're frustrated, you're just going to be more sad, more upset of what's going on. And that's not going to help you. If you're familiar with the law of attraction, the secret is a feeling. And if you're feeling frustrated, you're putting yourself on a lower vibrational scale, lower vibrational frequency. And so you're not going to be able to move on and attract the things that are for you, because you're going to be attracting things that are on a more lower vibrational scale. So like everything that we're trying to strive for is just feeling good. So when you start to shift out those negative thoughts, you're able to clear some room, and this is where your power lies. You have the opportunity to let and welcome in all the new thoughts that come in, and this is your power, is you can choose if you want more negativity in your life or more positivity in your life. It's all up to you at that point. And the power is crazy because you can do this at any moment, any second of your day, of your whole life. Like, we have the opportunity right now to change and be new. Like, today, I chose right now to do something new and let go of doing the script and just of being a little bit more free within this video. And I feel freaking good. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm glad I let go of that, and I'm going to be moving forward making and producing content like this because I feel a lot better. I feel happy. I let go of everything. So embrace change, declutter that mental, and make room for more positive so you can put yourself on a higher vibration and attract better things into your life so you can start moving forward. And this is why letting go is like so powerful, because you're just letting go of all these thoughts and beliefs that don't serve you, and you're moving up that scale. And once you move up that scale, you're going to attract a very bountiful life for you. The next one we got is just release grips of regret. And so, like, it's a fun phenomenon we all go through. We all make mistakes. We can all regret the choices we made. We all have to make choices and decisions within this life. We're bound to make some bad choices. We're bound to make mistakes, and that's okay. Like, I guess it's just like having the forethought, or just the thought, is just to, like, everybody makes mistakes. Put yourself back, make better decisions. It's okay to make mistakes. You learn from your mistakes, and that's one thing that freaking longboarding has shown me. I do a lot of longboard dancing, longboard freestyle, and I learn a lot through that journey. I don't always make a trick that I'm trying to do. I fail a lot. It took me so many failures to actually land that trick or understand that trick. And that's the beauty of it. With all those failures, I was like really picking apart everything that was going on. I was thinking about it, and I was like, what did I do wrong here? What can I do better? In that process, I was learning. And when I was learning, I was able to apply everything that I learned and see if that choice that I made a better outcome for myself. And eventually it does. And, like, I don't know, I think that's why skating's so dope, because, like, you see a lot of people, like, really learning from their mistakes as long as they stay with it. Also, in the blog post, I talk about Colonel Sanders. This man's crazy. He failed in so many different careers, and he didn't see success until he was 62 years old. KFC. This man, 62 years old, brought up KFC, and apparently I saw that he, like, his recipe failed over 1,000 times. Can you believe that? What if he gave up on himself? What if he regretted all those mistakes that he had? He wouldn't be where his business wouldn't be where his business is today. His family's probably, like, well off now. Just because he decided to persevere and go through all those mistakes. And he just didn't let regret hold him back. Because if you're regretting, what are you doing? You're regretting. You're thinking about more, like, negativity, more negative thoughts. You're essentially stuck in the past. And so when you're stuck in the past like that, you're stagnant. You're not moving forward. I feel like we should just move. Just go. Embrace that change like we just talked about. Because change is constant. It's okay. And I'm pretty sure Colonel Sanders has learned from a lot of his mistakes. And it doesn't even have to be Colonel Sanders. It doesn't even have to be longboarding. It can be your favorite leader, businessman, athlete. They've definitely faced the adversity of all this stuff that's going on. Like, all the mistakes. They've had a lot of failures to get to where they are. So I think it's very important to start to cultivate a growth mindset to where you can move forward and embrace change, start dancing through these obstacles with grace and elegance, and then everything will start working for you much better. I promise you that. Don't have a fixed mindset. Start working and cultivating that growth mindset, because we're all here to grow. Learning and growing doesn't stop after school. We're always in school. We're in the school of life. Hello, welcome. I'm your fellow student, your fellow classmate. My name is Tristan. Nice meeting you. What's your name? Como te llamas? Oh my god. And so the next one that we have here is surrendering to the unpredictable. And so this is like, it's just like when you hold expectations over something or a certain situation. So it's like more on the like the expectations. It can hold you stagnant. So just start surrendering and going with the flow of life, because there's a lot of beauty that comes with the flow of life. So I want to encourage you to look into the past and like look into where you kind of just went with the flow of things. You weren't really expecting the stuff that was going on. We're gonna start looking at like past situations for you, and like when you were expecting stuff, did it typically go your way? And if it did go your way, did it feel good? Like like it's like watching a movie. You know what I mean? Like, is a movie fun when you know what's going on, when you like you have all these expectations about the movie, and then you know what's going on, you can like easily like foretell the future of the movie? Or do you like the movies that like keep you guessing? It's not like the same clear cut like plot that we always see, and it like throws you for a loop and you're just like, whoa, I didn't expect that. Do you like surprises? Do you like to be surprised on your birthday? Do you like to be surprised during Christmas? So surrender to the unpredictable if you like surprise. And like the cool part too is like when you start to expect and you have like these predictions and stuff, like you're kind of limiting the beauty of the universe, the magic of the world. Because when you start to predict and put expectations on it, you're limiting it to this certain bandwidth of like what it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to happen, instead of just letting the world work its magic and do whatever it can, because anything can happen. Change is constant. Whatever you want, you can probably get something far much better than what you could ever imagine, but you wouldn't know if you just keep putting out the same energy of you wanting something. And when you want something, you're pretty much saying, I don't have. And so the universe is going to be like, all right, this guy's like, I don't have that, so we're going to give him more of not having that. Yeah, that's crazy. And another point we have is cutting ties that bind. And so it's like very important to cut loose of the things that aren't serving you, like those, like we talked about in the past, the thoughts and beliefs, your values that don't serve you. For me, and I'm gonna be, this is gonna be a little bit of a personal story, but it's very important, the people that surround you. It's very important to be mindful of the company you keep. There was a moment where I was surrounded by people that I've grown up since childhood, and I love them. I love them. They're great. They're good people. I was very comfortable being around these people though, and where I was going in life wasn't necessarily resonating where they were heading in life. Our paths were going in two separate directions, and it finally got to the point to where it's like I had enough and I had to split. I had to choose me over a group of people that were really close to me. I decided to choose me. And so what I saw is there was a lot of like, it's kind of like that party energy. It was more like drugs and alcohol that was going on. And when I say drugs, it's mostly just like weed. But there was a lot of that going on, and I started to see that like, one, it was eating at my finances, doing all that stuff. Two, I started to get a little bit more lazy. I essentially used it as a crutch. Another thing that happened was like I wasn't progressing. I wasn't growing to the stand. Like And I guess I was just holding expectations, but I wasn't growing to where I wanted to be. And so I started to get upset and frustrated. And it was just like, I couldn't live like that anymore. And they say, like, you are a product of the five closest people you surround yourself with. And when I decided to quit, like, smoking and just living that life, it was very hard because the people around me were doing it. They were like my roommates at the time. And it was just like the access to it was just so easy. And so it was hard for me to escape that. And that's why I'm also like really big on out of sight, out of mind, because that's what helped me quit vaping. That's what helped me quit smoking. That's what helped me quit drinking. Once I removed those people and like all those factors out of my life, it was a lot easier for me to focus on myself and the activities that really bring me joy, the activities and stuff that will actually lead me to grow. And so I think it's just very important to like to realize the stuff that's serving you and the stuff that isn't serving you. And when you start to see the parts of yourself that you're going through and that's not serving you, snip, cut that out because it's not serving you anymore. Another point is finding freedom and forgiveness. And a lot of people say forgiveness isn't like necessarily for the other party. And it took me a while to really understand this concept. The forgiveness is more for yourself. Because if you're trying to do forgiveness for the other party, one, I don't know if you necessarily learned anything that happened within the situation. Two, it kind of seems like people pleasing energy, and I used to be there. Um, and so like when you start to forgive the situation, it's more for yourself because you start to when you're forgiving, you're putting yourself in a different perspective. You start seeing things in a different light. You essentially like you have to like put yourself in the other person's shoes and you start to cultivate empathy for the other person. You start to see the whole situation and yourself with more compassion as well. You you get this newfound perspective on everything, and since it's already happened, you're already starting the process of letting go. You're getting that empathy and compassion, and you're also gaining discernment. And I think that's a beautiful gift that you have. That's something that you went through, and now you're able to see patterns or other things that may lead to what you went through in the past, and you have the opportunity if you want to replay that same decision, choice, or mistake, however you want to look at it, if you want to repeat that same thing again or not go down that same route. This is just what you've learned. And so you've cultivated discernment and you learn something more about yourself and about other people around you. And I think that's like the beauty within letting go and just having forgiveness. And when you start to forgive, you start to let go of that negative energy that's essentially holding you back, because when you don't forgive, you're still like resenting or mad. You're just like you're holding on to negative energy still when you haven't forgive whatever party for whatever has happened. You're still holding that negative energy within yourself. And when you forgive, that's when you start to let go of that negative energy. You start to accept what is. You lean more into the uncertainty and the unknown, and you feel a lot much better within yourself. And so I'm learning even more as I'm talking about that. Like forgiveness is beautiful. Let go of that negative energy, and because like when you hold on to that negative energy, you can also be sending that negative energy maybe to that party, but even to the people around you, because you're still holding on to that negative energy. You're holding on to some like bitterness, some resentment, and that's still gonna spew out if you don't let it go. It's in your container, so let it go. And one of the last points we have is embracing the present moment. And it's like who was that guy from like Kung Fu Panda, the master? He talks about like I don't even remember something about the past, something about the future, but the present. That's why it's the gift. The gift is in the present moment. Eckhart Tolle, The Power Is Now, if you've ever read it. The power is in the present moment. Everything that happens is in the present moment. And the way I see it, and I lived through a lot of depression and anxiety, is when you're when you're thinking about the past and you're living in the past, you're experiencing a lot of depression. You're sad because you're stuck on things that happened in the past, and it's usually like negative or bad events, sad events that has happened, and so you're dwelling and you're living in the past, and that's where depression kind of lies. You're stuck there. You need to let go and move up to the present moment. And with the future, it's anxiety, forward thinking. You're worrying too much about what can happen in the future. You're trying to control your future. And what we need to do is bring back our thoughts on the future and just live right here in the present moment and just be here right now like I am with this video, because dude, it's so dope that I just like forego the scripts because I felt like I was either living in depression or living in anxiety when I had that scripts, because I had a certain guidelines that I had to like adhere by. Now I'm just present and I'm able to navigate and just move and do whatever I want within this video. Anyways, once you start to let go of the past and the future and you start living in the present moment, that's where the beauty happens. And with the future, dang, now I'm starting to like lose my train of thought. Hold on, give me 1 second. So when we start to, okay, now I remember what I was going to talk about. All right, so with the future, if you want to influence your future, where you're going to be heading in life, you don't do it by thinking. You do it. That's why they call it the present moment, the gift, the power. That's why you have the power of the present moment. You influence your future with the decisions and the choices that you make within the present moment. The past has already happened, so there's no need to dwell on the past. What we can do is learn from the past and not repeat those same mistakes. We can use our discernment and move forward, but the power is in now. So for me, let's just use this as an example. I'm I want to further my learning and exploration within spirituality on like all these subjects on like YouTube, my podcast, my blog, on TikTok. And I'm making the decisions right now at this current moment to currently work on this so I can have a abundant future later on and be working on this even further later. Because if I don't work on this right now in this present moment now we're in, I won't be where I want to be in the future because I never put the groundwork to get there. I hope that makes sense. And so I guess we're just going to conclude it right there of why it's very important to let go is when you start to let go of all those expectations and everything, you can start to harbor in a lot of negative energy. We're probably already harboring a lot of negative energy right now. And if you're familiar with the law of attraction, like attracts like, the more positive things that you're experiencing or thinking is the more positive things that you will experience. And same with the negative. If you're thinking negative or holding on to negative stuff, you're going to experience more negativity. And so like, if you want to manifest a better life, it's very essential to let go. Or if you just want to have a better life in general, I want you to question yourself, what are those thoughts serving you? Like what are those negative thoughts doing for you? Are they truly serving you? Do you feel good? And that's what we're going to talk about. Or I guess we're just done talking about it. um yeah, I'm very excited for this podcast episode, this whole or this YouTube episode, whatever episode. Like right now I feel kind of weird just because like I don't have a script. But I know this is the start of something new. And I'm just letting go and letting God, letting the universe. So if you enjoyed this episode, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. Besides that, I hope you have a wonderful journey. I hope you learned a thing or two from this episode. And I hope you have a wonderful 2024 or whatever year you're listening to this to. I hope I encouraged you to let go. And yeah, just stay saucy. Hasta la pasta.